What if I were to tell you solitude is the beginning of love? Hi, I'm Brandon, and I take people from breakups to breakthroughs. So, when you're going through a breakup, one of the things a lot of people struggle with is being alone. And I get it, it's tough because you used to have a partner that was there for you. Maybe you guys were codependent and spent a lot of time together. And now you're alone, and you don't know how to deal with being alone. But being alone is where love begins. It's where love begins for yourself. There's actually an art experiment done where they had people go to an art museum, and the people that went alone actually experienced a higher sense of emotions than the people that went as a couple. When you're alone, you're forced to love yourself. You're forced to validate yourself. You're also forced to learn the lesson from the breakup. Now, it's so easy when you go through a breakup to just jump into another relationship because it heals that pain so much faster. Because you're able to distract yourself from the old story, the old meaning of that story, and the importance of that meaning to that story by creating a new story with new meaning and new importance. And now, though you need to change your story, you need to change your story in a healthy way. Go just jumping from a relationship to relationship. Generally, you're not going to learn the lesson. And then the universe is going to force you to learn the lesson again and again and again. And that's why these people that constantly jump from relationship to relationship, they don't know why they keep attracting the same person. They can't understand why. It's because they're not learning the lesson. They're not learning to love themselves. See, when you love yourself and you truly have deep love and joy for yourself, a partner is then formed of love and compassion, out of abundance. It's not formed out of the neediness to feel loved. Because when we learn from the past, we heal it. And if we don't learn from the past and we don't heal it, we're just doomed to just keep repeating the same lesson over and over. I went through a string of relationships where I'd break up, I'd start dating someone new. I'd break up, I'd start dating someone new. And it was always the same pattern. And I couldn't figure out why. I'm like, why does this keep happening to me? What is going on? And I wasn't learning the lesson. I realized I wasn't standing up for myself. I kept choosing people that weren't choosing me. And now in the beginning, yeah, as always, the relationship would start out great, rose-colored glasses, of course, usually some form of love bombing. And then all of a sudden, slowly, tension would start to pull away, trauma bonds would start to form. And I'm like, why do I keep having this happen? Why do I keep attracting the same type of people? It's because I wasn't taking time to heal. I thought I was taking time to heal. I'd be like, oh, it's been a month's long enough. I need to get back in the game. But a month was not long enough because I wasn't truly healed. I was still living in those memories. I was still living in the past. I was still projecting that energy out. And by projecting that energy out, I was attracting that same type of energy. I was attracting that same type of energy into my life. And I couldn't understand why. Until finally I did, until I realized the universe is trying to teach me something. Now, with a lot of these relationships, what usually ended up happening is they would just keep putting me down, and I would just deal with it until eventually it's like they just lost so much respect for me that they'd break up with me. On the last relationship I was in, I saw the same pattern happening. And that was the first time I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to deal with this anymore. I'm going to learn the lesson. And I ended things. And it was hard. Because when you end things, it's all on you. When you end things, you have to deal with the questions of, did I do the right thing? You can't be a victim when you end things. And it also allows them to be a victim. Even if you treated them really great and they didn't treat you so great, because you ended things, they can now be the victim. They can now put you on blast. And I know that hurts and it's tough when someone you loved so much and you wanted nothing more than for that to work out starts blasting you on social media and telling you how you were just such a bad person. And you just wanted nothing more than to show them how much you loved them. But at some point, you had to show yourself that you loved yourself more. It's hard. And I've been there. And if you were able to walk away from someone you truly loved, but you knew they weren't good for you, you knew they couldn't give you what you wanted, I want you to be so proud of yourself for standing up for yourself. And I want you to know a seed has just been planted for something even greater to come into your life. because you just showed the universe that you will stand up for yourself, that you will learn the lesson. But it doesn't stop at just ending things, or when things end, accepting it. You have to truly be alone. You have to truly learn how to love yourself. Trust that love will always find its way to you. And the more you embody that love in yourself, the more you're going to attract it. By just feeling that love, there are times in my life where I would do these love meditations and I would just embody that love and feel that love. And then it's like I would attract people into my life with that same love. And the more love I felt, the more love I would attract. And then there were times in my life where all of a sudden you're not getting that validation and approval from your partner and you're having a hard time with it because you never learned how to validate and improve yourself by being alone. All of a sudden you're in that vibration of desperation and neediness, which then puts a strain on the relationship because you're putting that energy out there. But if you would have just healed, if you would have just took the time to learn how to love yourself and be alone, you might not have sent out that desperation and neediness. Maybe you would have handled it in a more secure way. Maybe you wouldn't have got to where things are. Or maybe it would have based on the person you were with. There are many factors, but every person that's brought into your life is here to teach you a lesson, good or bad. But especially if that lesson is to stop choosing people that aren't choosing you, I need you to understand the importance of how important it is to be alone and learn to love yourself and learn to self soothe, self validate. Find something you truly love, you're truly passionate about. Because when you have that, it's so much harder to be hurt. You, in a way, build an armor because you know you love yourself. And then when you do find someone where, there's always the honeymoon phase, you never really know the person in the first couple months. So you think you know the person and all of a sudden you don't. And you just can't walk away because you had all this love. You feel like you're never get this love again. But when you have that love in yourself, when you feel that love in your heart, you know that love is there. You're not afraid to walk away. You're not afraid to move on because you know you already have it. And when you already have it, you attract it. If you're desperate for love, if you're always chasing love, that means love's running from you. But when you're not chasing love, when you know you have that love in your heart, love chases you. When a relationship ends, it may feel like you're never going to find love again. But really, you're one step closer to finding an even better love, something even more powerful. Every time I have ever gone through a breakup, and I've ever thought I'm never going to love again, I always find someone who I love even more. I love just as much. And then when that ends, I think, oh, it's never going to happen again, but it always happens again. Love will always find you. But when you do the wrong things, it takes longer. So by just being alone, healing alone, now I'm not saying to just isolate yourself. I'm not saying to not hang out with friends. I'm not saying to make memories with family. I'm not saying to isolate. I'm just saying to take a break. Take a break from needing validation from someone else. And by taking that break, you learn to validate yourself. And it's so powerful. If you can learn to validate yourself, you are unstoppable. No one can hurt you. You will be able to put boundaries in place so much easier. You will know your worth. When you know your worth, when you know you can set boundaries, the world is yours because toxic people can no longer affect you. Toxic people won't even be attracted to you anymore because they'll just sense that aura. They'll be like, oh, this person has boundaries. This person has self worth. I can't manipulate them. I can't control them. You will be so powerful. So please, if you're going through this, if you're going through a breakup, I promise you, I know it hurts. I know it's painful. I know how hard it is to heal alone. But trust me, it'll be the best thing you could ever do for you. And if you like this video, please subscribe. I'm Brandon, and I take people from breakups to breakthroughs.